Sweet. We are live. What is up, guys? Yeah, if you guys are here in the chat, just say how's it. This stream is going to be a little bit different to what I usually do, or any of my videos really. Usually I teach us how to do React stuff, but in this video we're going to do some Python coding. Just to pretty much write a script that like tracks this Luno price here. So if you guys don't know what Luno is, I'm South African, so I'm very like proudly South African. Luno is basically a South African crypto exchange. Like they kind of outdo any other exchanges for South Africa. They're epic. They're very secure. They haven't had any security breaches like ever. So that's quite cool. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, what I want to do is I want to build like a little Python script where it just prints to the console every time this price updates. Because at the moment, I have to like refresh every time to see a price update. Well, I think it does happen on yet. But the cool thing is like if we can get started with some Python script, it means we can kind of use it for other things, display more information, so we can like track it and see where it changed and what happened, like moving up and down. So the wonderful thing about this is Luno's made a nice little API documentation. So it's pretty much here. You can check it out for yourself. I think I've left the link for this in the description. It's luno.com/en/developers/API. They've got it in different languages in case you are not English. So that's pretty cool. And you pretty much just need to put in your own API key, which you can get here. You just have to sign in and go fetch it. So I'll do that in a second, and I'm obviously going to use a read-only API key. I'm not going to allow you guys to know what my buying and selling API key is, because I don't want you guys to steal all my Bitcoin, which at the moment is not much anyway. So yeah, maybe I should put my donation address in there, but nah, it's fine. Anyways, so I'm going to use this, or not really too much. But one of the things that Luno has provided as well for Python is they've got this Luno Python wrapper, which is an SDK for their API. So the usage is pretty simple. You just do a pip install Luno Python, and then you can use it in your app kind of as follows. So we're pretty much just going to use this get ticker here as they've made. But we're going to, constantly poll it. So we'll be like sending a message to it every second, like give us a new value. And that's kind of our plan. So what you need to have set up is Python, and then just have pip set up as well. That's like prerequisites for this. Pretty straightforward. You can do that by yourself. I'm not going to go through having to do that. So yeah, let's make a... I've made a new folder here, and I'm just opened up in VS Code, and I'm going to make a new file. Just, I guess I'll call it luno.py. So I'm going to call it Luno just for the heck of it. And in here, we're going to define a main function. And in here, like for now, let's just print like, hello world. Make sure this is working. All good. I don't know. This is how I run my Python files. I pretty much just like learned this from watching other people coding Python, so I can't really explain it as well as I can usually explain things. Sorry, this has got to be like blah blah. So yeah, basically if the process is running that's main, then we throw in main. Now my configuration at the moment for VS Code is still set up for like React and stuff. So I'm gonna like copy some config files over to this. Let's just go through them. So I'm just enabling Python linting, which I don't usually have enabled, and Python linting on save. That's my path. Like I think this will be set by default, but the main thing I want to do is the editor tab size, get that set up. So now if I save, everything kind of floats out like that. I forgot a colon over here. So yeah, there's my little colon to say this should run the main function if like our thread is main. So I'm opening the console here, and I'm just going to type in py and luno.py to run this file, and it prints hello world. Perfect. So things are being printed, and that is a good thing. So what I want to do now is, remember what we want to do in here is we want to like kind of continuously ping the server for some information. So in order to do that, I am going to run, what am I going to run? I'm going to run a while true statement. So this is just going to run forever until we close our program. And I'm going to say, well, let's define like a period for how long we're going to like ping the server for. So we'll make it like 1 now, and 1 is just going to ping it like every second. So what we'll do is in here we'll print ping. So it's just going to ping, and then I'm going to say time.sleep for the period that we're sleeping for. So this is just like waiting for a second, and every second it's going to ping, make a ping like that. So now if we run our program, it breaks. What's wrong? Time is not defined. Oh, time. I need to import time. So like this is a default like Python thing. So I just need to import time. You don't need to like run any pip installs for this. This comes with Python. So yeah, that was the issue that I had there. So now it pings every second, which is wonderful. Like every single second it pings. If I change this to 10, then I just need to rerun my program. And it pings once, and you gotta wait for like 10 seconds before it pings it again. Which, yeah, we can just wait along for, and that would be good. Cool. So we've got that set up. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make use of the Luno client that we mentioned up there. So I'm going to type in from luno-python. I need to spell Luno right. And just say .client. Cool, because we are doing that, and we import client. So we're importing like client from Luno client. Now, this I'm purely just following the documentation over here. So I've already run pip install Luno Python on my side. You guys need to run that too. So you can just pretty much like run in the console pip install Luno Python. But I've already done it, so I'm not going to run it again because I don't need to. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is I've still have to generate an API key because you stick your API key in here. But we're going to do this. I think let's actually just test it as it is now. So I'm going to run a whole try and exception thing in here just to do something. So what I'll do is run it up here in our main function. Yeah, sweet. Cool. So in our main function, we're going to try these things and then print an exception if something happens. The res, sorry, I've set my Python to print things differently. So it's my pilot that's like freaking out about that. Yeah, I've done that. Okay, cool. It's happy. So I like to call this con like for connection instead of just C, just because it like, I don't know, it helps me like read it better. So what we're essentially doing here is we're creating like this client connection wrapper, and in there we stick our API key, and we do our like key secret, and that's pretty much something we get from the Luno site. I'll show us how to get it now. For now, I'm just setting the pair to equal xpt czar, and then we do that connection, and then we go get the response just like that, simple. And then if there's an error, we print the error. So that's all cool. What we'll essentially do is keep this out here, and we'll move this into the while loop to keep pinging it. But to get it to work first, I need to put in a valid API key. So that process is pretty straightforward. You literally just have to run, not here, here at this Luno developers, you can get your API key. Now I'm going to need to log in first. So yeah, let me go log in off camera. This might take a while. And check my email for my little code. Sweet. Cool. So I'm logged in back here. I've logged in. All good to go. By the way, if you guys don't have a Luno account, I've got a link in the description that gives you, I mean, if you're South African or whatever, like country and whatever deal they give you for your country, like you get 25 Rand if you trade 500 Rand in Bitcoin. So you don't have to spend it. You could put 500 Rand in and then let it grow and take it out at 600. I've been using it for day trading a lot. It's quite fun. I'm making like little small gains, and it's definitely giving me way more interest than the bank does. But yeah, obviously trade responsibly, like know what you're doing. I can't help you with that. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to create an API key. I'm going to set the expiry date for like tomorrow because I'm going to ditch this app after I'm done. I can restrict the IP address to myself, but I'm just too lazy right now. Permissions, I'm going to make it read-only access, so you guys can't trade on my account now, even if you tried. And I'm just going to call it demo. So I've got this key. The key ID is what we're going to put into our trading app over here. Done. And then back to here, I've got a secret, which again, you guys shouldn't see, but again, it's read only. I don't care if you read stuff here. Doesn't bug me at all. So yeah, that is pretty much that. So now if we run our app, it should theoretically print out the response. And it works. So it says the pair, it says the timestamp. That's like Unix timestamp. The bid, so this is how much people are like, you know, willing to buy for, and ask is how much people are willing to sell for, which is like, you know, it's pretty stable now. It's not like bouncing between two values. It's like literally at like this point. My ping is still running there. And the last trade, it says what the last trade was. The last trade was actually higher, so like than that. So it must be like quite a big thing going here. And then it says the rolling volume and status active and stuff. Status is always active. So you can see this documentation pretty much over here. So what we're using here is we're using the what is it? It's in market, and we're using get ticker for currency pair. So we're saying get ticker for currency pair. We're taking in a pair. The pair that we're taking in is XBTZR. So we're comparing it to like Bitcoin price to Rand. So how much does one Bitcoin cost in Rand? And then it returns this value here, the ask, the bid, the last trade, pair, rolling ID, status, timestamp. So they're all strings. Pretty important to know. If you want to do some math on them, you need to remember that they are strings. And the way that this works is because they're all strings, they always like, you know, do the dot dots. And the thing with Luno pricing is you can't trade in cents for rands. Like they're just keeping it simple by keeping like the minimum trade to be per rand. So what I'm probably going to do in my pricing when I start displaying it is like cutting it off and not like, you know, not showing those. But yeah, we get the point. So we know that this works. Let's see if it works inside our while statement. So instead of printing ping, I'm going to print the response here. Sorry, I need to do some tabbing to fix that. So the whole statement now is chilling in here. Awesome, we've got that. So every second, because we set the sleep, well, it's going to be every 1 second now. We've set the sleep to match this. Perfect. Let's run our app, see if that works. So it should every second give us a response. So there we go. It's giving us a response every second. And I mean, the price is pretty stable now. It's staying the same. I actually wish it changed a bit just so I could show, like, demo it in this project while I find it useful. The point is we've got the values now. That's pretty cool. So it's definitely working. I'm going to stop that just so I stop pinging. So part of the API documentation is if you look up here, rate limiting, it says calls to market data APIs, which is the API that we're getting here is market data. Calls to market data APIs are limited to 1 call per second per IP address with a burst of like 5 calls. So if you did like do 5 calls, you know, in a thing, it would be like no, you know. So like you have a 5-second gap, and if more than like, yeah, I don't know how to explain that. But yeah, and then the other ones are limited to 5 calls per second per customer. So the per second per customer is like for your API account. But basically the point is, because of this, we are allowed to do that 1 second period pinging the server, and our API shouldn't go down. It should just work. I have had the tendency for it to crash after a while, so I need to, in this video, I'm not going to show you how to automatically set it back up if it crashes. But this should get you going for now. I just realized I'm not even using my headphones because I'm not talking to anyone, so I'm going to take them off because they are getting quite uncomfortable. So yeah, anyway, we've got that. We've got my API key there. We've got this. All these URLs that I have here are in the description, so you can check them out there. But now we're going to head back to code and pretty much just do some coding stuff. So yeah, this time sleep happens there. That's all good. So the next thing that I want to do is like actually format that data, because right now, like, okay, cool, we're seeing this, but this doesn't like show me that things are changing, and like I don't need to know the timestamp, or I do. Timestamp's useful, but I need to know the timestamp in a bit more of a like what's going on. And because we're pinging it every second, it doesn't really matter if we're like a second off. We just want to see like when last did the time update. So what I'm gonna do on every ping is, instead of just doing that response, I'm gonna like print the date first. So I'm gonna make a variable called print date, and yeah, this variable is gonna be, we need to import date time. So I'm just gonna be sure to import date time with small letters, and we've imported date time. Cool. Why am I doing it in here? I just have to do the res thing over there, and we should be able to get res after that, I think. Sorry, my Python's a bit rusty, obviously, because I just don't do this much. If that doesn't work, we'll fix it. We'll move the whole thing into like a try catch. Yeah, maybe we actually just do like, yeah, we can move this up into there. So we'll make an attempt on that, and then yeah, if it doesn't work, we'll print an exception, but we're going to keep trying again and again and again and again. So that's why we do the try there. I think that actually fixes our thing if something went wrong with fetching, because, you know, we're just fetching. It doesn't matter if we have a fail safe here. It's like all good. So we're going to say date time dot date time. I know it sounds weird. Dot now. So we're getting the current date, and we're getting the time, the exact time for now. And we're saying strf time. So we're formatting the time. And in here, we're going to say y. This always gets me, like I suck at this, like this syntax, because I'm just not used to it. D, and then we make a space. We say H, and M, and S. So what this does is we print the date as like year, month, day, and then we say hour, minute, second. I think that's like pretty straightforward for us. So what this is going to do now is, well, we're not actually setting it to print anything yet. So I'm going to just print date. Our period's set to 1, so it should like go pretty well. Just move that up there. Or let's move it down. So cool. Period set, it's all working. And we cancel this. So what we should see now is every second it's going to print the current time. So there we go. Okay, something's wrong because it's not getting the time dot now. Why is that happening? Datetime dot datetime dot. I mean, it's like a new second. I mean, that is the time right now. So the time is correct, but the year, month, day is wrong. I think I shouldn't be doing dot time. I think I should just be formatting the date. My bad. That dot time was wrong. It's because I don't really care about the time. Yeah, that's better. That's today's date. So we can see the actual time that things have changed, which is good. Like, I'm happy with that. I'm happy to see what time things have changed. So we're seeing that every second. Great. The next thing I want to do is get that response data. So if you remember from the response, it basically gives us, I'm going to call it ticker because that's what it really is. Like, it gives us the ticker. because we're saying get ticker, con.get ticker. And this returns, well, again, the pair here. We can make this like dynamic. Just say pair equals xbt zar. And like, you know, now we don't have to say that equals, we're just setting it to the pair that's over there. So that just means that later on I can say like what the actual value is. So what I will do now is, yeah, I'm printing the date. And yeah, I'm going to print the pair, and I'm going to print the last pair price, which is what we ticked. So in here, it's going to look a little bit different. We have our print date, that's good, but we also need to get the last pair price. And I'm going to say that this is equal to ticker at ask, because that's kind of like the asking price is how much it's actually worth now. So like what you could do is, yeah, I've got my last pair price in here. What I'm going to say in here is, I mean, maybe I should just move it up here, but there's a little bit of string stuff, basic Python things, say -x, and then, so that's, we're going to put the date in there. We do like a little thing here. Sorry, my descriptions of what's going on is not very good right now, but yeah, I'm going to print the date. This print date's going to fill that spot, and then we're going to make a space, and then we're going to say the actual pair, like just to describe what we're doing. So that's S, and we're going to put the pair in there, so xbtzar, and we'll make it like a little colon there to say like this is the price. I mean, we could put like a little dash in here as well, just like spacing things out a bit more. And now we'll stick the last pair price into here. Sorry, last pair price. This value can go over here. Sweet. So there we go. We run this, and it keeps running the last price. Like this is the last thing that the pair costs is 19.2. And that's ticking every second, which is great. You know, if we wanted to, we could say, like, I don't know, let's move the dash like here, and we say like ask. Cool. And then we make like a slash like tab space and say bid. And we can say that like that's just gonna be ticker at bid. After the bid, we make a little S here, and we move this ticker.bid in here. So we can like do a bunch of like little string formatting things. And it's a lot more organized now, because we're saying, okay, at this time, the exchange rate, that's the ask and that's the bid. I mean, if we wanted to, you can go take it a step further and like calculate the gap. But then you have to change these things to floats, because you have to like do a calculation. So I might as well show you that, because I think it would be useful. Again, there's no gap right now, so like the market's pretty stable. But I can make a /t and say like gap, and the gap should be the value between these two. I've got the S, no, just gap, and then space, and over here I'm going to do the S here. Now to calculate the gap, I'm going to actually create like a new variable and say gap is going to equal to float, and we're going to say it's the ticker ask minus the ticker price. So float of the ticker ask minus the float of the ticker price, or no, ticker bid. Sorry, I keep confusing these two. And now I think in the gap I should be able to just add this as like another variable as well. Not in there, sorry, my bad. Gap. Sweet. So now if I run our program again, you can see the gap is like 1.0, which is great. Again, because I know that these are always going to be like, you know, .00, and I know that the calculation is always going to be .0 because just the way Luno works currently. It might break our bot in future, but it's fine. We'll know when it happens and we'll change things accordingly. We'll just remove the implications. What I'm going to do is for these prices, there's a reason I'm keeping this in a variable as well, because I want to do another calculation just now. But I'm going to say -3. Or was it -2? I can't remember. Let's try -2 and see if that does anything. And the thing here as well, I do a little array here and I say colon -2. And this cuts off the last two. I think we do want to cut off the last three. The last three values of this. So if we run it again, yeah, you see it cuts off these values, which is just nice. It's easier to see what's going on. Probably means that down here I can remove this tab, just make a space. And if I wanted to, like, I could really, like, I know that this is ask and I know that this is bid, like, so I could just make it 91/990, but like, yeah, I don't know. The gap as well, this is going to be like, it's always 0.0, so I'm just going to make it -2 to get rid of the point and the 0. So we're cutting off the last two characters, and that's what we're doing there. So if I run this again, float is not subscriptable. Oh, right. So I need to convert this back to a string. Oh, I forgot how to do this. My Python is limited. Convert float to string Python. Fortunately, we have the internet on our side. Print type, it just says string.py. Okay, cool, easy. So if we go back to that, we say string around pi or around the gap. And now we can run that. Sweet. My housemate just said he didn't lock the door. Cool. I need to turn off his heater. No problem. Sweet. Great. So our gap is working. It says 1 now. I mean, the gap's not too much. Like it's not important. I just wanted to show that, okay, there's like a thing there. So what I'm going to do is make a trigger so that let's get the last pair price and the last we'll call it last pair ask and last pair bid. So, and I want to only show things if these values change. So that's my goal now, just so that we're not like constantly pinging this. Well, I mean, we'll still be constantly pinging it, but like we don't need to constantly display something that hasn't changed, and we still keeping track of the date that's going off. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. So right now we're going to say bid over there, and instead of saying that there, I'm going to say last pair bid, and this is going to be last pair ask. Cool, wonderful. So this makes sense. We've got our values here, we've got our bid. We know that the pair is this. If we change the pair to like one of the other pairs, you can see there are different currency pairs. So we could say we could see what it costs in euros if we wanted to, like XBT euro. So like EUR, if we ran the bot now, this is what it costs in euros. It's obviously very different to the rand because euro is like, 16 times stronger than the rand. So understandably so, like this is right. I mean, euro is probably like 20 times stronger than the rand. No, I don't know. The rand is pretty weak. And here the gap is a lot, the gap's actually very different. So here I wouldn't want to do these .3s. Let me just cut them out for now. I'll put them back in a second. So if I was doing euros, then obviously the price, it matters because the bids are like point something. But for ZAR, I know XBT, ZAR, like at the moment, the way that you can trade rands on Luno, it means that we like we always trade in whole numbers because like our rand is weak and cents are worth like nothing. Anyway, that works. Now the final thing that I want to do, like, you know, we've got something we can check the price, and that's great. The gap, it just means that it's going to be a lot more volatile if this gap spreads, because it's going to mean things are changing. So it's good to keep a note of like, okay, the gap is spread, and it's a good time to look at the prices and be like, okay, is it going up or down, or should I panic, or should I like do something? So the final thing is I want to not print this every single time, and that's why I'm keeping these last pair asks and bids in like a specific like at a point. So I'm tracking those, and I'm going to just run like an if statement here, and I'm going to just say if where did I do this actually? I'm gonna remember, because I want to make a like if the current price is not matching the last bid. I actually want to keep these last pair prices later. So I want to do it like over here. I set the last pair price to the current price. So this is going to be current pair price and current bid price. There we go. And this this current pair price, last pair price will equal that eventually. And then what was I going to say? the current bid price will be equal there. I think this might freak out that last pair price and last bid price doesn't exist, but it's fine. What we're printing in here is the current pair price, so this might be good. Anyway, so what we want to check now is if current pair price is not equal to last bid price or last pair price. Why did I say price? This is supposed to be ask and bid. My bad. And that means down here I need to say ask and bid. Yeah, sorry, it's supposed to be like pair bid. And pair bid. Okay, sorry. There we go. This must be pair bid as well, and pair ask. Great, my bad. I think that's fixed that. So I'm checking if that is true, like, or if current pair bid, again this must be ask, or if current pair like bid is different, then I want to see. Then I want to run these statements in here. So I'm just going to move all of these in here. This keeps updating, so this keeps changing the whole time. So last will be updated, but the printing and calculating the gap and stuff will only happen if these values change. And here we can see it did change a little bit. This was 902 and now it's 901. So we might be able to test it here. But the point is, now if I run our program, if it works, sorry, it's saying last pair ask. Okay, yeah, here it's complaining that there was no like before assignment. So I'm just going to say over here that it's going to equal to null. Sorry, that must be small letters. I think that's right. It might work, might not work. What, do you guys not have nulls? I don't remember what the undefined like Python values are. Just check Python assign variable to null. Yeah, let's just check what it does. It's supposed to be a caps null. Okay, cool. So null like that, I think. Does that work? Nope. Still complains. That doesn't help me if I can't go there. Sweet. Why does it not let me set it to null? Weird. I can set it to none. Yeah, so that's the Python equivalent. It's called none. Okay, there we go. It's set to nothing. Okay, cool. So you see it's ticked here. And what we have is the, it's going to keep ticking. Like the ticker is still going on and on and on. But it's only going to print like new values if the like current pair ask is not the same as the current pair bid. Which, you know, that's happening. I need to go on the exchange and actually see and make sure that this is right. But theoretically, if we go onto Luno and we refresh this page, you can see Bitcoin price has gone down to 90. So that's how much you can buy it for right now, or sell it for. Or yeah, what is it? Yeah, if you were to sell it right now, that's how much you would get. Which means over here on our little trading thing, oh yeah, the bid and the ask. So ask is how much it's worth, bid is how much people are selling it for. So yeah, I feel like I have to wait just to show and prove that this does work. And I guess I have to like tab between screens and show you that, okay, this has not changed, and like our little Python thing has not changed. When I was working on this the other day, like the prices were way more volatile, so I could actually see like, okay, it's changed a little bit. I guess maybe if I go off camera and quickly check out the exchange, I can go look at the depth and see how much we're expecting it to change by. I just need to sign in again. So give me a few seconds. Let me know if you're enjoying the like concept of this. What I am thinking of doing is like building a React like app to monitor this and like do the same kind of price monitoring in like JavaScript. But I mean, it helped to do this kind of thing where I can see more of like the API stuff, like what's happening and all that. So yeah, that's kind of me. So if we go to the Bitcoin exchange, I'm going to open up my app here and move it over to here. So this is what the exchange looks like at the moment. So yeah, it's still sitting at that 901, and it means our app is still sitting there. I'm going to put like our app to the side here and put this like to the side over here. So it's gone to like mobile view. It's like, I can hide this. We're not showing anything here. I have like buy orders and stuff going. So yeah, we can see that it's probably going to like come down pretty soon because there's not many, like there's not a big volume going down. Yeah, there's a gap now. So this is probably good. If we look at the order volumes here, we can see, yeah, it's very, very likely to go down a little bit. Not much, but just down by one. So that I can test this freaking app. My word. Like, all I want to do is test this and see if it works. Whoa. There's lots of people spamming me right now. Love from Janet. I should ban Janet. Because, yeah. That's like spam. So, let's hide that user on this channel. Yeah, dude, what am I explaining? I'm explaining how to build like a Python script to log prices. Oh, we can see the prices have changed. So the bids have gone down. So the gap is a bit bigger. And now the asking price has gone down completely. So our app actually did work. If we look here, I guess for, yeah, sorry, I'm deleting a bunch of chats because they're just spam. There's a lot of people just spamming my channel. Just report them as spam. Yeah, so I am like missing out on a lot of so yeah, you said what am I explaining? I'm basically explaining what my app does here. So I built like a Python script, okay, where we connect to Luno's API, and we poll them every second. So this period here, that's 1. Every time we loop through this app that we've built, it polls the API. And I'm saying if the price changes, then please print the price like as is. So here we can see at 9:35:01, the price ask was this, and then the bid was this. So there's a gap, and then suddenly it went down to that gap. So Bitcoin prices got a bit cheaper. This is South African Rand values. And that was what was happening. So the polling is still happening. It keeps on updating the API stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm gonna hide this user on this channel as well. I don't know why I got so much spam suddenly. It's so random. Sorry, I've like missed all these messages. So I have no idea who Janet is, but there's lots of love from Janet. Cool. So I've hidden all those messages. Yeah, guys. So that's what this does. I wish like the market was a bit more volatile, because then I could like, show you what this app does, as opposed to just like, showing you that this is working. I guess again, if we look at the debt, I need to zoom out, reset the zoom. There's quite a gap in the market, so it can either go down or up, which is odd. That doesn't happen much. Yeah, there's a huge gap. Why is this gap so big? I'm gonna refresh this page. Sorry, guys. I guess just on mobile view, it doesn't work very well. It works nicely on the app, like the mobile app. So yeah. We can see there's pretty much like almost a Bitcoin, which is like basically 200 grand. So it's not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. So I can't really show off the app anymore. But basically, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you thought this was useful. Let me just like open the app up in full so that you can like see it and like kind of screenshot it. So there's this. Okay, cool. You can like copy this and code this down, and then this the last bits of the app it looks like this. So yeah, at least for people to screenshot and chill. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Really enjoyed making a random thing about Python. I usually do React videos, and I'm planning to continue and go do a React video like on this, where I log this up. Like I basically monitor the prices on the React app, and like I'd like to build some like little calculation tools of like calculating, like if I put in this much and then I take it out at an amount minus the fees, what would my profit percentage be, and what would my actual like profit amount be if it was a certain amount. So I'm very keen to do little stuff like that, maybe even hook it up to an actual API key that's tradable, and then like make trades from within the app. But obviously I'm not going to do that on a video. I'm just going to do like mocking doing it, but actually implementing it should be fairly straightforward. And I'm obviously going to give people their own like API keys, like have it so that they can, use their own API keys and not mine, because I don't want people trading on my account. They trade on your own account. So yeah, guys, that's for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want more kind of stuff like this, please let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, cool. I'll chat to you guys soon. Keep well. We're streaming again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I think, with Kevin. We're gonna go back to our React stuff and like learn some Firebase things. We're gonna do a Firebase authentication tomorrow. That will be a lot of fun. Cool. Anyways, guys, that's for me. I'll chat to you whenever. Cheers.